Hello and welcome to Dual Coding Mind Mapping. This time we're looking at specialised cells. You're going to need 2 pieces of plain paper and a pen or a pencil. On the screen you can see a picture of a cell and specialised cells underneath. What you need to do is to copy everything you see on the screen. You'll see branches of images and words. It's not an art lesson, so don't try and focus on the drawings too much, but we do need to make sure we're listening as well as writing down what we see and hear. So our first branch is all about the humans. We're looking at specialised cells within humans. Now we have 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs, and they occur in sperm. Now sperm are one of the specialised cells in which we look at, and they're specially adapted with tails, flagellum, enzymes in the acrosome in the head of the sperm, mitochondria for respiration, for energy. So here we can see we've then got energy, and we've got a person swimming to show that energy is being used because the sperm need to move towards the egg. And we've got enzymes. As we said, in the acrosome we have digestive enzymes which help us break down the surface of the egg cell so that the sperm can enter. There are 23 chromosomes in the nucleus of the sperm because it will meet with 23 from the egg to make 46. And as you can see, we also have chromosomes in the nucleus, which is shown by the diagram above. Now, once you've finished copying this down, what I'd like you to do is pause the video and then re-explain to yourself or re-explain to somebody else everything you've just heard and seen about human sperm cells. Then restart the video, ready for the next part. We're now going to look at the egg cell, and the egg cell is the largest cell in the human body, and it has an increased surface area to allow the sperm to get more likelihood of fertilization, to allow the sperm a bigger surface in order to attach to. Again, they have 23 chromosomes because when they add with the sperm you get 46 for their 23. Now it has mitochondria because it needs energy. Once it's fertilized, it needs energy to start dividing and start the process. And we've also got cell division to show that the cell divides into many different parts once it's been fertilized. Again, I'd like you to pause the video once you've finished copying this down and re-explain to somebody else or back to yourself everything you've just seen and heard. The next part, we're looking at a phagocyte, and a phagocyte is part of our immune system. It's part of our white blood cells. We have 2 white blood cells, a lymphocyte and a phagocyte, and here we're looking at a phagocyte. And what they do is they fight infections, and they fight against bacteria. And so what happens is we get phagocytosis, where the phagocyte surrounds the bacteria and engulfs it. It uses digestive enzymes. Again, we've got the lock and key to show enzymes. In order to dissolve the pathogen, the bacteria, until it dies. And obviously these are used to fight infection because they're part of our immune system. Again, I'd like you to pause the video, have a go at re-explaining to somebody else or back to yourself, and then restart the video. The next cell we're going to look at are ciliated epithelial cells. Now these are found in the lining of the intestines and also in the lungs. And what they do is they remove germs and dust. And they move in a wave-like motion, so a swish and flick. They swish and flick bits and pieces. So if we talk about them in the lungs, then we have germs and dust which we breathe in and don't always get trapped in our nose, and so they get trapped into our lungs, and we produce a mucus, a sticky substance which collects all those germs and dust. And the ciliated epithelial cells swish and flick and move those along and back out through our esophagus, our windpipe, our trachea, and then back out through our mouth. So they remove these germs and dust. And again, we've got this transverse waves to show the movement. It's like a swish and flick, so it's almost like something that's moving along the top of a river or a sea. They also line the intestines, and what they do is they act like little pickers on a production line, and they pick out the different nutrients and vitamins that we need from food in the intestines. Again, pause the video, re-explain this to yourself or to somebody else, what you've seen and drawn, and then restart the video. The last branch we have here today is all about plants and the root hair cell. The root hair cell is specifically designed to take in water from the soil and also other nutrients. Now we know that water comes up through the roots. It's not collected by the leaves. The leaves may collect water on the surface, but the water then falls off and goes to the ground. The plant gets its water through the root hair cells, and this happens via osmosis. Okay, osmosis is the movement of water from an area of high to an area of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. And so the root hair cells have a semi-permeable membrane. Then we get lots of roots to increase the surface area to allow them to get more water into the plant as much as possible. Again, I'd like you to pause the video, go back through and re-explain this section, either to yourself or to somebody else, and then restart the video. What I'd like you to do now is spend about 4 to 5 minutes looking at the diagram that you've used or that we've drawn. We have 5 different types of specialised cell. We have the human sperm and egg. We have a phagocyte, part of our immune system. We have ciliated epithelial cells, and we have root hair cells in plants. We have 5 different types of specialised cell. So what I'd like you to do is spend 4 to 5 minutes looking through, trying to remember as much as possible, talk back through the different bits and pieces. And then what I'd like you to do is turn this sheet of paper over, get a blank piece of paper, and draw as much as you can remember. Give yourself as long as you need, as long as you like, but draw as much as you can remember without looking at that sheet. Once you've finished, turn the original sheet over and compare what you've drawn from memory to what we drew before. Thank you for listening to dual coded mind mapping with specialised cells. Come back again for another unit.